Hello, 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 and happy. What's today, Friday? Okay, now y'all know it's Monday because it's Girl Your Money Matters on this Monday, the first Monday of the new year.
Money,
Yes,
money, money, money,
yes.
money,
Money,
money.
money. Listen, I am so glad that you guys have decided to tune in with us tonight. And as you know, we always have a great time, but I decided to bring on some extra guests for some extra shenanigans, right? We're going to start the new year off right with some ladies that are going to tune in and chime in on tonight's hot topic, money basics for entrepreneurs. So before I get started, allow me to introduce myself. I am D. Nicole Johnson, founder and CEO of Girl Your Money Matters, affectionately known as the Gym, where we have all sorts of exercises to help you get financially fit. So with that being said, we're gonna get right on into it. I want to say give a big shout out to Paulette of the Brown Sugar
Woo!
Worldwide and Dr. DJ Tony Sanchez. Hey, y'all, hey.
Hey, y'all, let's get this. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Okay.
Let's get it. Let's get
Set
it.
up
I'm fading it
already.
in and out. I'm fading it in and out. Let's get it.
Tony
Let's
said
get it.
he is prophesying money for everybody. So received, and
That's
received.
right.
Amen.
That's
Amen.
right. Get it.
We have our
Yours.
returning guest, Miss Leanne Dose, self-care strategist. Hey, Leanne, how you do,
Hey,
girl?
everybody.
And
Fabulous as always.
yes,
You know how
special
we
guest.
do.
Listen, these ladies, let me say this. There was a time where I heard a young lady who was an entrepreneur who said how lonely entrepreneurship can be. And ever since I heard her make that statement, I always tell other entrepreneurs to keep your circle tight. All of you who are coming from my community, you have heard me say, keep your circle tight because you got to have people in your circle that's going to tap in, tap on, tap up, and run up on you when they need to. And so I brought some additional ladies in here who do just that. They get all up in my inbox. They be on my phone. Man, what you doing? Where you at? What's going on? The ladies after my own heart, Miss Lakeisha and Wendy, say hello to the audience,
Hi,
please.
everybody.
Hello, hello.
So Wendy hails from the same place Leanne does out there in Georgia, along with Miss Paulette. And of course, Tony is up in the Chi-Town, my hometown. And Lakeisha is coming us straight from the beach of California. What's up?
Well, it's a little overcast today, so
She
no
said
no nice
overcast. We got single digit temperatures. Girl, bye.
overcast. I can't see the mountains is clear.
I'm finna wave a
That's
fan.
a
I'm finna
problem
wave
to
a fan.
have.
So listen, as always, everything that we do here taps into your money, right? But as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, we don't call anything small. We are on grand levels. Whether we've arrived there, we are mentally already there. But a topic came up over the Christmas holiday, and we just kind of wanted to kick the year off with some money basics for entrepreneurs and give it a spin for some real out here working in it everyday entrepreneurs. But you know what I love about this panel? They've either already fired their boss or they're very close to doing so. Boom. So don't tell me that this panel cannot tell you about entrepreneurship because they do not work on somebody else's job, except for me, except for me. I'm just a panelist here tonight. Don't judge me, Judge. Okay. All right.
Judge your mama.
The
Judge your mama.
shenanigans,
That's right. Judge your mama.
and everybody else but me. Okay. All right. So Dr. Dina Brown is in the comments telling some tap, tap, tap. We love you. Hey, Cynthia. So let me go ahead and read tonight's topic, and then we're going to open this floor for some discussion, dissection, and direction. Okay. So here goes the post. Actively Black just launched a sneaker, and some of you all are in the comments complaining about the sneakers being $130. Man, some of you tap dance on every nerve I have in me. Now, this is what the poster says, and I'm all for it because I agree with it. She said, I'm so sick of how we look at our brands. Remember, we are here to change the narrative of our community. And if we having problems within, that's why the problems outside are really just added on because we can't function right within. But let me keep reading this post over here. If
Yeah.
we as a people love quality, what makes you think we can't make and produce quality? I really wish in the new year y'all dissect why is it that you look at your own as less? Love screaming black excellence and breaking cycles, but out here in these social media streets, anti-black AF. Y'all know what them A's and the L stand for. Come
Yeah, I
on
ain't gonna
now.
say it out loud. I ain't gonna say it out loud.
Get your lives together. There is so much I want to say, but this is mentally exhausting. $130. We talking $130.
Right.
You really want entrepreneurs to go broke for you to get a deal when we ain't cheap people. We just do this to ourselves. She said, let me go back to my Christmas movies because y'all out here wilding.
Yeah, they wildin'. And she gave it to him uncut.
And raw, which is sometimes the
Direct.
only way that they can take it. So, my question, let's start this discussion. Why do we do this to ourselves? I'm gonna let Wendy go ahead and kick us off.
Come on, Wendy.
Well, I think it's one stem from, unfortunately, every time or most of the time when we do decide to engage with Black businesses, we don't have our systems in place. Our customer service experience is not there. The product and service that is being presented is not properly packaged. The day-to-day operations for the fulfillment of that product has not been considered. So, for an example, I had a call with a client today. She was angry. She been following a lady on social media. She wanted to learn a specific task. They had a chat. The lady just sent an invoice. There was nothing on the invoice that entailed what she would be getting for the investment. It was just pay my invoice. The lady followed up with my client multiple times. For whatever reason, the client paid it. It's been a few days, crickets.
Mm.
He asked for the money, crickets. And so, since she's been working with me, I teach service-based entrepreneurs how to streamline and automate their business systems so they can escape burnout, work with the right clients, increase their profits, and save time. She knows what that process needs to look like. She said, Wendy, she sent the invoice. It said nothing. I didn't get anything. I don't know what to do. We had a verbal agreement to meet on this day, and the lady didn't even show up to the meeting. I told her that sounds like a scam. So I go online, I go check because it's just easy for me to find gaps in other people's businesses. There was no website, no email. There was nothing on social media that indicated that she had a legitimate business doing the thing that she serviced. So unfortunately, with our counterparts, it's why we don't tend to question them. A lot of them normally have the right branding, they have the right investors, they have the right supply chain in place, they've taken the time to invest in PR, they've done everything to present themselves in a way. Not to say that we don't do that, but 9 times out of 10, we tend to not have the best experience when we do decide to do business with our own. So that's where the skepticism comes from. I'm not saying that it's right, but that's from my point of view.
Lakeisha.
Oh, just jumping right on in. Okay.
Listen, we hope no bars held here. Let's get it.
I mean, in all honesty, I think it's that's exactly what it is. Is we're not prepared. We're not prepared. We don't necessarily always know how to ask for the sale. We don't have all of our systems in place to get started. I know for me it was really hard, and I know Nicole and I have gone back and forth since 2020. And I was just like, I have a brick and mortar business. There are a set of things that I've needed to do in order to move through the process of getting my business recognized and validated. And when I came into these online streets, I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. So I think what ends up happening is Wendy is absolutely right. Our counterparts or if you've had to do business and have a brick and mortar, there are systems put in place than coming out here and saying, okay, well, I'm a coach. Right. I know how to talk to people. So I helped about 5 friends. And so now I'm an expert in,
Right.
in what it
Right.
is that I can do for you. And you have zero validation. You have zero education. And just because you helped your 5 friends do not make you an expert. Do you have over 10,000 hours worth of information that you've taught and or been able to generate? Do you have a coach, right? Do you have someone that's training you? Do you have, like, even for me, I have a multi-million-dollar business. Am I out here just winging it? I'm not out here winging it. I still need a coach.
Hell yeah.
I still need a coach. I need a coach to take me to the next level. I need a coach to make sure that I'm doing the things that I need to do. But out here with our people, it's just skepticism. And we've been burned. I've even been burned a couple of times. I moved into, okay, well, I need to learn how to become this person who, is able to coach other people. Well, in that journey, I'm spending 10 grand, and I live, like you said, I live on the West Coast. You're giving me information on the East Coast. There's no way I'm about to wake up at 6:00 in the morning to attend a quote unquote half, training.
Go ahead, say it. Half
Training.
Tell the truth. That's right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and so now I lost my 10 grand because you're telling me that, the deliverables are, I'm going to meet with someone in the morning, but you only have availability before 9 a.m., which is 6 a.m. my time. Right. And so you don't have any other time. You're not accommodating your customer. And I'm not saying that the customer is always right, but you at least need to make sure that you're able to get the deliverables out that you promised. And unfortunately, with our people, sometimes those deliverables are not it. They're looking for that quick money.
Listen, so what I'm hearing is we have an internal problem.
Absolutely.
And when we sometimes, and it's not all, because nothing is specific, nothing is quote unquote for everyone. We're never going to do this across the board. This is all experience based, right? What you have, this panel that you have in front of you, are people who have coached others, who have been coached by others. So they have experience in sitting as the customer and as the coach. And a lot of us, we became coaches in our field, in our industry, because we were the ones that when we were sitting there in need of a coach, we got run over, mistreated, scammed, all of those things. And now we're like, if I want to change the narrative, I need to be to someone else what I needed when I was sitting in their place. Right? Yes, ma'am.
I want to speak to that really quick. One of the things, now, my clientele is African American women. African American women is who hire me. That's who I enjoy working with. There's nowhere in my marketing that says that I only work with Black women. That's who comes to me. And one of the things that I run into the most initially, the biggest pushback that I get when I'm helping them build out their client experience, is a lot of times they don't want to really truly teach and share the information. And so my conversation with them is, okay, you are asking them to give you $10, $12, $15,000, which is an absurd amount of money for the majority of us. And I'm saying, why won't you sit down and give us the framework from A to Z? Like, why would I hire you to give me some of the information and then I still have to do some of the research for myself? And Deanna wrote in the comments, she said, this is not a Black people problem, but a poor business problem, shady dealer problem. And this is correct. But I think for today, the topic is, why are we doing this inside of our community? Quite naturally, based on historically, most of us have a crab barrel mentality. So it's kind of like, yes, I've made it. I'm in a great position. I may be known throughout my community to have a certain statue because of the revenue that I've generated or the profit. Not talking about me, just talking in general. But I've had to really tussle with a couple of people, and I'm like, okay, let's put yourself in the customer's shoes. If you pay any amount of money, what are your expectations? How would you feel if you paid this money and these things happen or these things were not in place? And when I'm able to help them to see it from another perspective, then all of a sudden they are more willing to be open and to help and to be a true mentor. They feel like I'm not, and I tell them, I said, you can give your mentee or your clients everything in the bag. I promise you, they will still come back and invest to work with you because the information is going to be overwhelming. But what you're not going to do on my clock is take their money and then make them feel like they made a poor decision. Now, you may be honest with them and say, this is what I can do with you for this investment in this period of time, because a lot of people want a lot of things in a short period of time, and it's just not realistic. And so what I tell my clients, you can do this, but this is what it's going to look like in real time. I understand on social media, they have showcased it this way. That's not real. So I think it's just a fear of they won't be able to sustain their lifestyle, perhaps, if they were to just lay it out on the table. I think we've been taught, especially in the online space, to nickel and dime people so that we can maintain client retention when that's not true.
I like that. And
So
so
let me.
I'm gonna go over here to Leanne and ask. So let's shift a little bit when it comes to, because she
No,
brought
no.
up.
Before we do that, let me go because I'm not even on the same wavelength that everybody else apparently is on here.
Come on, that's why I said no,
And
no,
the
no. We can't.
question
Hold
and the
on,
question
hold on
wasn't
one second.
answered.
Hold on, let me do this.
So I want to go ahead, take a sip.
Yeah, we can't shift. Come on,
Hydrate,
Leanne.
friend.
Come
Okay,
on.
come on, Leanne.
Because the question really wasn't answered. The question, and what I don't like is when we automatically go to Black business being the problem.
Come on, man.
The problems that you guys mentioned are not Black business problems. Those, like Dina said, those are poor business problems.
Thank
And
you.
we go to white restaurants, we go to Asian establishments, we go to these other places where they disrespect us, they treat us wrong, they do not have systems, people, processes, and technology set up properly, and we still spend more money with them
Come
because
on
it's
now.
a
I gotta take
name.
a puff on that one. I gotta take a puff
We
on
have
this.
been told in our community that our
Mhm.
worth is tied up into the material things that we have.
Come on, girl.
And unfortunately, there aren't a lot of Black businesses who have a Tommy Hilfiger name, who have a whatever, because we've been told that our own brands and our own worth is nothing.
It's nothing.
So we think that until we go and buy the Jordans, until we go buy Tommy Hilfiger and these red bottom things or whatever, that
Mhm.
now we have status. Now we are somebody. But rich ass white men out there wearing Asics gels, New Balance tennis shoes, you know
Thank
they be
you.
out there.
Thank
Now
you.
they're gonna have some fly dress shoes when they gotta get
When they
sharp,
got to go
but they
out,
natural every day is some Levi's
Levi
and
jeans.
some New
Yep.
Balance tennis shoes.
Speak.
They
And
not
they
wearing
might have
17
two
different
nice little
designers.
sport jackets.
Yeah.
Right. Our problem is not that Black business are not quality, because even when we are, they still come into you. Wendy, what deals you got? What specials
Right.
you got?
Come
Why
on.
should I pay you $10,000
Ooh.
to do XYZ? Whether you have all the systems in place or not, whether you are proven to know that you know what you've been doing. I've been doing this for 20 years. You can't tell me, right? So I want us to get away from the narrative of Black businesses are not operating in excellence. There are some, but there's also businesses of other races that are operating in equally messed up terms, and they still getting Black dollars.
So let's
And
talk
I
So
can
about
why
agree
is
with that
that?
perspective. I can
yeah.
agree with that perspective. I think Tony agrees with you, and it's clear. Miss Paulette then flipped her
I'm
fan a
ready.
couple of
I'm
times
ready. Listen.
as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a mic. Go ahead, Paulette.
Ooh, okay, hold on. So
Wait a
I
minute.
need to
You were supposed to sit beforehand.
huh? What?
You were supposed to sit beforehand because you about to pass
Right.
out. But go ahead.
Okay.
Don't pass out now. Don't pass out.
Because I'll be on the floor. So listen.
About to say, you know, I'm about to say, you on the floor yet? Don't be on.
So listen, this is so heavy because I see both pieces, right? I understand where everybody is coming from, but let's put this in perspective. Number one, the value of the Black body in this country. Shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we know what it is. And that is something that has been passed down to us since before the Civil War. Let's go there. Okay. So the value of the Black body, these beautiful Black and brown skinned cousins of mine that I'm on this call with, we have already been conditioned for millennia in this country. And I'm going to say millennia in this country to believe that anything that we produce is not good enough, not worthy. But then also, let's put this also in perspective, because that's a mindset that was put into us so that we could constantly be what they desired for us to be, right? So now here we are, and we are the descendants, some of us, yes, historical disenfranchisement is what Dr. Dina says. So let's go ahead and put that up there. So I just want to put this in perspective. So now here we are, these folks, some of us who have grandparents who were slaves. I know mine was. And when they walked away from the plantation, let's talk about the fact some of them still there. Okay? Still picking the cotton, still work for the company that owned your Black ass. Let's go there. Now, we're also talking about a group of people who did not know where in the hell they were going to go when the Civil War ended and they were emancipated. Let's go there. So now we're talking about a group of people like us. Some of us are the first to be college educated or to have a career in the military and so forth in our families, correct? Okay, so we're talking about redefining who we are. But how in the hell can we do that when our parents and our grandparents could barely read? How can we do that when we did not have what some of us claim to have, and that's the visual acumen that is necessary to build a business properly from the bottom up? All we know is Miss Lois down the street that was selling huckabucks. You know those ice cups? We call them huckabucks where I'm from, right? Or the candy lady down the street. She's selling the candy. Baby, yes, come on in and let's do. Okay, so listen. We are asking. And so there has been change. Let's look at some of them. The change has been that we know more. And now that we know more, we can do better because we know better, right? That's number one. Here's the other thing. I'm going to put this on the table too, right? Okay, so here's another one. We have resources, but let me tell you what. We don't want to pay for the resources. We're going to try to piece it together. We're going to go to YouTube University. Then we're going to go to
right there. Let me chime in with you right there. And that brings it to me. That brings it round back to basically what our first two guests said, is that we have more resources. And when you have more, you're supposed and know better. You're supposed to do better. So this isn't your average. We're not talking about the mom and pop shops who are still learning.
That's where I was going when I got
mom and pop shops who are still learning. This is the person we're talking about what we do to each other. So you know when
that's a part of that.
Wait. When they said let's make America great, we all sat back and said great again. We still trying to figure out when it was great, because for us the experience has been different. Yes. It has not been great, but how can we worry about the outside forces when the inside forces are constantly going at it like that? So if Wendy or Lakeisha or Leanne or Paulette or DJ Tony, all of you that I want or need from you, why as a business owner or even just a customer who wants to buy or learn, why am I coming to you to say, well, Paulette, I want to advertise on the brownstone, but can I get a deal? Why? What inside of me? what inside of me makes me feel that it's okay to do that, but yet go to WGCI V103 or whoever, ABC, NBC, XYZ, and be like, okay, can y'all just put this on a payment plan? I'm not gonna ask you to reduce your price. I'm gonna go sell by hook or crook, stand on the corner, donate some blood and all this plasma and stuff to get to your level and pay your price. But I'm gonna come over here to these black ladies, brown ladies, black men, brown men, and say, can I get
I see your point. And I think
those things are different, and that's what the comment was. So we talk about actively black, and I'm just using them because that's what the commentator said. We're talking about $130 pair of gym shoes, right? I ain't never seen a red bottom cost less than $130. Is it in 100? Is it in 100?
It's in the hundreds. It's higher than that.
Red bottoms is expensive.
I wouldn't know what they look like, and as from what I hear, my feet would hurt if I put them on. But Jordans that they stand outside for 2-3 days before they even hit the store, and they advertise that we got Jordans coming, and no, the store ain't getting but 2 pair in a size 2.5 and a 4, and your foot is a 12. What you standing out there for? Right? But here you have this black-owned business that is doing well and has a good reputation and has a good quality product, and yet we're still condemning them. That's like me going to Wendy and say, instead of charging me $8,000 or $5,000, can I get it for $250 on a layaway plan? The hell?
But I want to add to that too.
Wait a minute.
Let's DJ Tony. He about to pull his hat off. He already puff and passed nowhere. So go ahead, DJ.
Thank you. I know this show is entitled "Girl, Your Money Matters,"
but you
and
always bring the wisdom, so it's okay.
And I did sit back and let all the queens speak on that topic, and y'all just gonna shoot right past me, like don't let me interject on none of that. I'm like, no. And then Wendy raised her hand to ask a question. Look. Wendy raised her hand to ask a question, and my hand been raised for the last 20 minutes. Ain't nobody saw nothing.
I'm sorry.
Ladies.
All right, now look. This is what I want to do, because boss lady, you hit it on the head when you gave the whole downfall in the narrative of all that there. But at the midst of all of that chaos and confusion, Black Wall Street rose. So we had a blueprint already. It's just us lazy asses, speaking the truth, didn't want to instill that into the ones that was coming behind us to show them how to come up. And then that's when the we folks saw that we was better than them, and they had to destroy it because they couldn't fathom the thought of these niggas outdoing us. So we had the blueprint. It was already there. I'm just speaking fact and truth. Our lazy ass of today being misinformed by misinformed ass people who was out to get theirs in the first place. You know, the motives and hidden agendas that we all know is there from day one, because we deal with it every day, being this. You dig? We have to come real and correct with ourselves first as entrepreneurs. You know, we already know the rhetoric that goes on with them other races, because we go through it every day. Every time I walk in a Chinese hair spot, I see them disrespecting my sister. You know what I'm saying? Every time I go into a damn Starbucks, is, you know, I see some disrespect happening to black people, but they don't never say nothing about it. But when it's us on us, now everybody want to get on us. No, let's stop pulling each other down and tell each other, look, we've been doing this bullshit to each other for too goddamn long. Now is the time for us to get real. Because how we gonna say we all we got if we keep playing these petty ass games with each other? You feel what I'm saying? So it ain't right that curse can't be broke. It's when our lazy ass is gonna break it.
And then
that's all I had to say. That's all I had to say.
And that was really good. Can I just intercede really quick, Wendy? And Tony, you're absolutely correct. I just wanted to jump in really quick because I know this is a hot topic.
Oh, it
Clearly.
is. This is good. This is good.
I just want to say this. I just and Nicole, you are absolutely correct. But I wanted to bring this up too because you brought up something that blows my mind. I had a meeting, and I'm gonna throw this out here just a little bit. So I had a meeting with someone who was interested in being a part of the brownstone. Y'all know the brownstone costs money.
Yes.
That's right. Any
This ain't
brownstone,
Yes.
the brownstone, the porch, the
The
backyard,
porch,
the
the back
basement.
porch. It's
Ain't no
literally
free
it
gift.
costs money to run the radio station and the platforms and all of the
Yes.
things and the editing and all that comes with it. Did you get mad because I gave you a price, ma'am? And you said your cousin could do it? Okay, that's fine.
Have a nice
Right.
day.
So, and have a nice day. You are not my audience. But let me also say this. One of the things that I definitely wanted to kind of pigeonhole on, and I'm not sure if each one of you guys are, but I know that most of us here on this call, we are okay with connecting to other people in other rooms, right? We have coaches and we don't mind being a part of, and I'm gonna just shout it out. Shout out to TSP Mastermind. I'm gonna remember that. And also shout out to Carol Walters. Big shout out to her. And several other people that I have connected with, like Jay Stone and others who have helped me along the way. Big shout out to those groups of folks. But what we have to learn how to do as Black folks, if we want to continue to build up the narrative and to change the narrative of who we are, is we know it. And I heard my mom and daddy say it for years. We're gonna always have to give 150% in order to be even seen as the 99, not the 100, but the 99. So if we have to extend, and I'm not saying that we got to give away the cow, the milk, and all of that for free. That's not what I'm saying. But providing quality service, providing the things that are necessary within our community to help to build that trust. And we talk about it all the time, the know, like, trust factor. You know what I'm saying? And we have resources available to us as Black professionals and Black entrepreneurs and brown entrepreneurs that our parents and our grandparents didn't have when they were building businesses, right? So we have social media, we have each other. And to your point, Tony, and to Dr. Dina, who's in the chat having a ball. Listen, we have an opportunity to be the new Black Wall Street.
Yes.
How to work together, and that money needs to stop leaving our community. But then also, I wish I had an answer, Nicole, as to why we do that to ourselves and to our own people. Because I hear this all the time. We hiccup one time. I don't respond when you want me to, right? And it becomes, see, that's why I don't deal with Black businesses right now today, because y'all don't know how to treat folks. Ma'am, I'm not supposed to tip you $50 all the time. I'm not supposed to give you the cow, the milk, and all of that. I got to eat too. Are you asking me to not feed my family?
And you know what I tell them, boss lady? I tell them, look.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Because what I want to do, we do have Miss Lakeisha. She's got a prior engagement, and she got to leave the class a little early. I gave her I've already signed her early dismissal slip. So Lakeisha, you know what? You have a very interesting story. You know, I know 99.99999 parts of it. Okay. So give them a brief overview of your background, where you are, and then how they can connect with you.
Oh, brief overview of my background. How far am I going back, ma'am?
Well, you won't take us, boo. Come on with
what
it.
happened is Mom and Daddy went to the movies, and then
It's a new year, baby. I got time.
listen. Lakeisha, first of all, tell them how many children you got.
I do. I have 6 children. I have 6 children. I graduated from high school with straight D's. Straight D's. The letter D.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have made it, y'all. But you know, with a couple of good teachers and people that was looking out, I made it through. Persevered. I am a board certified behavior analyst. I own a business in California, providing ABA services to children and adults with disabilities. And so I've been in business now. We're going on our 7th year. Oh my goodness, how crazy is that?
So I wanted her to point that out for all the entrepreneurs who are listening, for all the people in the audience who want to be entrepreneurs, and or who are striving for something, and they think their path is holding them back. Let me
Oh,
tell you what
absolutely.
she hasn't told you. There were some people in her life who predicted she would make it.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
Let me tell you something right now. She might be mad at me and get me later. She has $1 million plus business.
Come on, ma'am.
She graduated with D's, y'all. Okay, so some of them straight A students that graduated, they probably on payroll
Mm.
Oh, well.
Well,
or
we'll
want
get
to be.
Well.
And
we'll
I'm
get the
not
most
bringing
off.
that out
Lakeisha, so
because
I've seen
for
her systems for myself. She does well, y'all.
so,
Awesome.
and let me also say this. See, I'm connected to all of these people one way or the other. So Paulette and Leanne and I met as members of the TSP Mastermind. Wendy has done services for and with me. Lakeisha and I met in a coaching program in which now we have been connected since then, 2-3
Yeah,
years ago. Right. So I only
absolutely.
bring Black excellence in front of you, but I love these people on this panel because every one of them has a story that somebody in our audience can connect to.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that they can connect to. So, Lakeisha, tell them, because since your early dismissal slip has been signed and approved, go ahead and tell them how they can connect with you. And what I love is that she'll teach you how to do exactly what she's already done. Okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely. So what we're doing right now, Miss Nicole, is I'm taking business owners and entrepreneurs and getting them the information to help them transition into a true CEO. So everything that you're talking about today is exactly what I'm doing in my program, which is because I mean, let's all face it, nobody knows what they're doing when you start out. It's a crapshoot. I got a skill. I'm getting ready to go do it, and then you get there and be like, "Oh shit, what do you mean? What is a a P and L? And where am I supposed to get that? And you know,
I'm
HR,
supposed to
I
be
gotta go
paying
fire people.
I'm supposed to
So,
file a LLC. I'm supposed to
oh my
register
god,
with which state? Oh. So
yes. So my goal is to take your average person, your business owner that just started a business, entrepreneur, has made some money and transition you into a true CEO where you're looking at your numbers, you have the HR support, you have the accounting support, you have the marketing support, and these lovely individuals, Wendy and Nicole, I'm going to try to, pull them into my program at some point. But I think of myself more of as a curator because I wasn't able to do this by myself. I just knew very early on that I was very resourceful. And because of my resourcefulness, then I didn't fall prey to coming into this coaching field or opening up my business and not knowing that I didn't need people. Right. I knew that in order for me to grow, in order for me to get somewhere, I needed other people. And that is what I'm teaching, and that is what the program will be about. So you can find me at Instagram under strategic_behavior. You can find us you can just contact me, Lakeisha Cobbs Hayes, on Facebook.
and if you didn't get any of that, you reach out to me and I send you her way. So
Yes. Thank
what
you
I
so much,
love is
Nicole.
the relationship building, being able to connect with people. As Paulette stated, we don't have to give away the farm. So let me say this. One of the things when I was talking to Lakeisha early on in our relationship was about pricing, knowing how to price your programs and knowing how to confidently charge your worth. It is possible. Do you have an $8,000 program? You do.
Yes.
However, you have to have enough value in there, not only for your client to see $8,000, but for you to be able to explain it, show the value, and then be able to deliver. Be
Yes.
able to deliver. I'm gonna say it one more time for the chick in the back. Be
The
able
one in
to
the back.
deliver
The
that
thing.
$8,000 worth of stuff so that your client can turn around and walk away much better than when they came to you. So Lakeisha, thank you so much for joining. I have every intention of having you come back to Girl Your Money Matters, because that is what we're doing. Putting
Keisha got to skip school
forefront
early, man.
of changing the narrative of our Black and brown people. So you are officially able to go whenever you need to. I've signed her
Thank you,
permission slip, so
Letitia.
she got
Happy New
permission.
Year, Keisha.
Thank you guys.
Congratulations.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you for coming. So listen, as always, I am excited to be able to talk to our community about how our money is impacted. Something that I heard Paulette say about our money staying within our community.
Mhm.
And that was the basis for Black Wall Street. Um, when I first one time I visited Atlanta and I went to a church, and I honestly I don't remember, it was in a small suburb of Atlanta, but I walked out the church and this way was a bank
Mhm.
and this way was a rec center and
Mhm.
that way looked like a school. I was like, why do they have a bank on the property with the church? Do the church own the bank? It wasn't until later on that I understood the concept of Black Wall Street, and what that community church had done was built a way for them to own the bank so their members could go to the bank and
Hey,
have better benefits from the bank because they were members of the church, and most of them were, as with credit unions, were owners or have some kind of stakehold in it.
yes.
Then the school was there. So guess who worked at the school? The people who went to the church.
That's
The people
right.
who worked at
So
the
I
bank.
think we
Okay.
been had the blueprint, but we was just lazy. We been had the blueprint. See, we got into that selfish mode. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I got mine, you get yours. We fell into that. We got to get out that mentality. We got to get out there. And we got to quit allowing it to happen. See, not only do I do this, I have my own DJ crew, my business called Truly Blessed Incorporated. And see, I tell my DJs who I have as I'm employing them. I tell them, look, one thing we don't do, we don't bother. And this is a business. This is not a friendship. So don't don't come to us with that there, because this is a business. We talking about keeping this thing afloat. So we already drew the line. Our service gives you what we say we gonna give you. That's what you paying for. Now, how you feel about me ain't got nothing to do with that. But this is a business, and we have to say that to our friends and family, especially family.
And one thing that I can tell you for sure, if someone says, Nicole, do you know somebody? A long time ago, I was called a community connector. Nicole, do you know somebody who does such and such? Yeah, go see Wendy. Go see
Mm-hmm.
them. Tell her Nicole sent you.
Yeah.
Just so they know what that I'm not expecting any type of referral fee from.
No.
I want them to know where their clientele is coming from. I'm gonna turn it back
Amen.
over to Wendy. Wendy, keep raising her hand. Go ahead,
Come on,
Wendy.
Wendy.
But
Class in session.
I think the issue is sometimes we're not all lazy or selfish. I had shared something on Facebook the other day that people asked me about a lot. There was another entrepreneur that asked me about it. I came from a family where they taught me at an early age about community, about money management, about building up a legacy. A lot of times in the Black community, we can't connect because there's a lack of understanding. It's I'm over here. It wasn't until I was in the fourth grade. I didn't know what food stamps was. I didn't know what housing or projects was. I came from a middle class home with a mother and a father. My parents sent me to college. I did not have any college loans. I was always taunted by some of the other Black girls. Oh, you're acting white. You're this or that, because my parents had a plan, because my grandparents had a plan for them. And I think what
Mhm.
happens, and a lot of times, some people get jealous versus saying, hey, Wendy, I really like what you're doing. This is my situation. Are you willing to help me? A lot of times, if you just ask me to help with most things, I probably wouldn't even charge you for. I would sit down and talk. Nicole has seen it before. A lot of entrepreneurs don't know how to make out a budget, they don't know how to run their numbers. I have a simple 13-minute training that's free in my group where I show them how I come up with numbers and how to set their revenue. But I think a lot of people are so afraid of rejection or not being accepted with each other. That's another reason why we don't come together. All of us here today on this panel, we're willing to help each other. We're not, if I see a Black business owner doing something that, like the lady said earlier, Dr. Dina, she said, poor, I'll say, hey, I really like your product or service. Are you open to some feedback? And I did that to a friend. She got really mad and she felt like I was hating on her. And I'm like, no, I do this every day. This is what people pay me for. I'm going to give you some valuable feedback for free so that you can grow your business and not have these production hiccups. But your head is in the wrong space thinking I'm trying to knock you down when I'm trying to save you from people talking about you. I brought the product was poor, and I'm telling you, da 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 da. So I think, I don't know how it's going to happen. I think we've been so beaten down and we have been pitted against one another. We don't want to ask for help. And then if we do ask for help, we don't want people to know what we don't know. And we're worried about that person having a one up on us. And we don't always do the best at honoring each other and doing things in and out of a respect. So I don't think we're lost as a whole because a lot of us do good business. I just think that there may be it's time for a lot of us to step up and be more so mentors to let people know it's more and more safe spaces to come and get the information that you need. Now, these are the various ways that we can support you. Everything won't be low cost or free, and we maybe have criteria of how they get support, but people do have to know that they do have options and that we don't live in a time where opportunity isn't available to them because, like I told my friend the other day, let's take an 8 hour time period. I may watch 2 or 3 training videos to teach me a new skill set so that I can add that skill set to my portfolio
Yep.
to make more money because maybe my child has asked me to go to Japan, and that's going to be a very hefty investment. And I'm not taking him till he's 10, but that's his whole situation. Versus person over here may have 8 hours and they watch TV, they do all of the things that doesn't lead to changing their situation. And then you know how I roll, Nicole. Then when summertime comes down, Wendy, every time I look up your jet setting, yeah, I was working 16 hours all night working on this thing, learning this new skill set. I called you and I said, hey, I got this thing. Do you want to do it with me? No, I don't want to do that. Or it's a scam. Or all you do is work, Wendy. Why don't you just hang out? I mean, so it's just a lot of different things. But my case in point of saying this, some of us who are in a different position have had family members to teach us at an early age that has conditioned us to want to be that beacon of support for our community and put the right foundation in place so that our children could, have better options. Now with other people, unfortunately, they are born in situations where their environment isn't nurturing or supportive. But I think everything that we do is learned. And I think the problem is a lot of people are conditioned and they don't want to unlearn. They do cater, they like being miserable. They like just pick.
Mm, mm. Our self-care strategies, any comment on that?
You already know she started speaking my language over there.
I,
So
I, I, I felt that. I felt that part. I felt it.
you know what? I don't think that it's people don't want to change,
Mhm.
but change is scary.
Yes.
Sometimes I like to deal with the devil that I know
Mhm.
versus trying to unlearn. And it's an ugly, scary process to
Facts.
heal. And
Facts.
most people stick with what they're comfortable with, right? Instead of going and actually seeking healing that's going to help you. And, instead of listening to people who are giving you constructive criticism, but you're taking it as, you know, everybody hates me, I'm horrible, whatever, right? We take it negatively when somebody's trying to give us constructive feedback. A lot of those are trauma responses, right? Just based off things that have happened to us in our past that have become part of who we are. It's become part of our personalities and our character traits because someone back there told us that we wasn't going to be anything, and we let that get into our psyche, right? So we have to unlearn, just like you said, Wendy, we have to unlearn a lot of those things so that we can be open to receiving the help that people are giving. People are giving help. We offer help all the time to people.
Mhm.
But until we get to a point to where we are comfortable asking for help and receiving help, right? How many times has somebody tried to offer you something? You're like, no, I'm okay.
Mhm.
No, I'm okay. I got it. And you
And
over there struggling like hell,
that's right. And
right? We over there struggling.
that those points come to the head of everything that I tell people when I say you have to have a tight circle. Okay.
Mhm.
Your circle has to be tight enough for you to be vulnerable. So, those of you who are listening, catching this live, catching this on the replay, the replay, the rebroadcast, wherever you get in the message, I want you to make sure that you spend some time listening to what has been said here on this panel tonight. It really went so okay. So, let me put it in money terms. When I talk to women about their money, I let them know up front, this is not an easy shift to make. Don't expect immediate results. Do expect to muck it up a few more times and
Mhm.
extend yourself some grace because you are trying to break and unlearn patterns and habits from when you were 7, 8, 9, and you 50 something.
Mhm.
It's not easy. You've been doing this over and over and over and over, and I could go on 50 million more times. And now you try to fix it one time, and you're like, that don't work. Let me go back to what I know.
Mhm.
We're comfortable functioning. Here we go, Paulette. Get your fan out. Get your fan out. We are comfortable functioning in our dysfunction.
Mhm.
Yes.
We
Because
Look,
it's
function
comfortable, it's
correct.
we know what to expect and we know what it is. And I mean, this happens every day. People fight me because they're worried about the unknown. And I'm like, I let them have their moments. It's important to me to give them
Mhm.
their space. Y'all freak out with me, y'all cry, y'all do all kinds of things. And then I'm like, okay, let's get back to the root of why we started this journey in the first place. Well, Wendy, I want A, B, and C. And I'm like, okay, let's take a walk through why those things that you're currently doing are not going to get you to where you want to be. Let's talk about your feelings. And
Right.
then
I
after they're
promise you,
clear
she
on
only
that,
gonna do you 2.2 seconds in the feelings though. Wendy
yeah.
is not she not a feely person. And see that comes from knowing who see it takes entrepreneurs, customers have to understand entrepreneurs are people too.
Mm-hmm.
So please don't think
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna walk up in Leanne's space and face, or Paulette's space and face, or DJ Tony's space and face, or Wendy's space and face, or my space and face, and do all of this and get away with it, because what you not gonna do is that.
Yeah.
See, I'm not Macy's. I'm not Nordstrom. I can't send you to the customer service department and let somebody else handle you. It's me. I'm the face, I'm the mouth, I'm the head, I'm the tail, and I'm every stitch and itch in between.
You be
So
wearing a pair of
customers not
these.
always right. I'm gonna try my best to make sure we get it to an amicable resolution. But you must remember, I live and breathe the same way you do.
Thank you.
But I
Okay.
want to like equate something like this to almost
Thank
weight
you.
loss.
Thank
It's
you.
like I think we would do better as a community when we make a conscious decision to do better. Like I can look in a mirror and not like what I see. Currently dealing with that now. I know I need to lose 40 pounds, but it wasn't until I had actual health issues to where now my quality of life is being hindered. Am I willing to make a decision? But I think a lot of times, if the situation isn't too dire, people are just kind of gonna you don't notice it unless you're in it. A lot of us treat each other differently because we see it from both sides of the coin.
Mhm.
Most people just view it from a consumer standpoint. And it's kind of like, if I can, I'm going to try it. That's why, well, Wendy's cool. I enjoy her. She's very down to earth. Y'all know I kiki with y'all all the time in the group. So we feel comfortable to be like, hey, girl, this one time, can I? But that also is a character issue. You know, you, entrepreneur or not, just may not do it just based on principle, that you're like, well, if that was my situation, would I want that done to me? But a lot of people are, I don't really think it's sometimes selfish. It's just more of, well, I'm just going to try it. If they say yes, then great. If they say no, then whatever. And I think the problem is we are very flexible. We do want to help our people. They know that we're going to be in, so they are going to ask, versus if they go to there, they know that there's not going to be any wiggle room, so why even try? I think that's the difference.
And to an extent, I can agree. Leanne, if you're talking, you're on mute, sweetheart.
Yeah, I was saying the difference is the expectation. We are expected to
Is
bend.
that part? Say that one more time for the chick upstairs. Say it one
That
more
we
time.
are expected to bend where they don't ask anybody else. The expectation is, because we're a Black-owned business, again, it goes back to the worth that they see within a Black business. Our business is not worthy. It's not the same quality, whatever they want to feel in their mind. Sometimes our quality is better than the other people's. Our product is better, right? We take care of our customers and we nurture our customers.
Yep.
But they would never know, because if you can't give me a 50% off or whatever off because it's Black Friday, and you
Well,
used to going to Nordstrom's, who's getting things for
mm,
pennies on the dollar,
come on.
right? So I think
Well,
that's the thing.
that's
Why
And
all
I
right.
are we
absolutely see
expected?
that as well.
You
I
know,
see
like, why
that
are we
as well.
expected to do it?
Yeah, I can, and I see that. Um, when you have a customer that says, I know that what you're doing and the training that the knowledge that you have is great. But why should I do that when I can figure it out for myself? Well,
That
baby,
part.
all I'm gonna
Figure it out. Go
say is
ahead.
go ahead. You can, you're
Mm-hmm.
absolutely right. You could figure it out for yourself.
I wish you would.
So I just want, and I know we're wrapping it up, but all of this is so good. This is so good, right? Like,
Sound like we might need a part two.
I
You
was getting
do.
ready to say, let me just put this out here. So there's something coming up in the summertime, and this needs to be a panel for real. A conversation that definitely needs to be had, but there definitely should be a part two, because there's so many, like Tony was saying, there's so many layers that we have to pull back, because there are those cultural issues that we're dealing with that have us feeling as if anything that's coming from our Black hands and our Black bodies and our Black minds does not hold the same value as other races and other people. We can go into their establishments, we've already talked about it, and we ain't gonna ask them nothing. Matter of fact, we gonna over tip even when Jenny was an awful server.
Thank
Okay,
you.
but we do. And we're just like, oh, you were so
And
fabulous. I'm not gonna do it. However, most people do, just for that. I don't know what it is with us, but I think we're hitting on so many delicate portions that all add up to the fact that this man has left Nike. Let's put it on the table now. He left, they let him go because he shared a piece that was on Amazon. He never looked at the movie. He shared it, and he literally almost lost his career, but he lost that contract, all of that. And he realized, I'm free. Now he's looking to go with a Black owned establishment, and the shoes are only $130.
Mm-hmm.
Only. Let's talk about
That's what got me. Only.
So I think, let's look at Telfar. I know that you all have heard about this young man who's a designer who's got these amazing purses, and they are coveted. And it honestly, I think for a while people didn't know it was a Black boy.
Right. They didn't.
Until recently, until maybe about 3 or 4 months ago, and then they did like this huge piece on him. And it was like, oh, he's a brother, you know. So I think what we need to do is to find a way for us to constantly support, like we do within the auspices of who we are as Black and brown professionals and entrepreneurs. Like you said, Tony, you have your group of DJs that you work with. Then, you know, we have the mastermind, and we got this and we got that and we got XYZ and all of the things. And so I think learning how to, like I hear people say all the time, everything that we need is in the room.
It's right here.
And then if it is, then we need to patronize each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We really, really should.
And that is what we're creating here.
Yeah.
Absolutely what we're creating here. But it goes on to as we run in these entrepreneur internet streets, how we reach out, and to Wendy's point, you know, everybody is not receptive, right? Everybody is not receptive to assistance and to help. Okay, but we can only do what we can do. And I love being able to be to someone who's up and coming what I needed when I was up and coming, right?
Mhm.
So
Absolutely.
that is, and if we keep that thought process, if we keep moving that way, eventually it will spread throughout, because as you said, we are here to help change the narrative. And as I say, in 30, 40, 50 years, if the narrative is still being told incorrectly, it's not their fault, it's ours.
It's ours.
Because we have
That's right.
technology, we have avenues to put our narratives out there. And so
Right.
I want to see a change in the community. I have to be the change that I want to see.
Yep.
Right. So these conversations can and will continue here at Girl Your Money Matters. And before we wrap up, I want to thank all of the panelists who are still here, and Miss Lakeisha, who she got an early dismissal because she had a prior engagement, but she wanted to attend and participate before she went to that engagement. So Wendy, as the newcomer on the platform tonight, what I'd like for you to do is give your final thoughts on the conversation and quickly tell them how they can, what you do, who you serve, and how they can connect with you.
I really love TikTok. I think it's a great platform to where people can get the right information from. I've learned a lot from a lot of Black creators in all aspects, from our history, from slavery, to how we've been indoctrinated, to how we can work together or whatever. But my point of bringing that up, there are ways that the mainstream is not paying attention to. This conversation has already started, and I've learned a lot, but we as the people, or some of us, people have to be open to want to change. And I think the problem is many of us haven't had role models, or they haven't seen it done, maybe in just their own little ecosystem, because a lot of people just are in toxic survival mode, so they can't think beyond me, 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 me. So I think there's a movement, things are shifting. It's not as widespread as we want it to be, but change is underway. I'm a tech nerd. I love what I do. I do systems automation, but I typically love working with solopreneurs, people who don't have a team. But a lot of my clients who don't have a team, they're already 6 and 7 figure earners. So I'm technically optimize what they have in place. I streamline and automate their business systems. If you guys want to stay connected, we can always chat over at wendynicoleanderson.com. And I'm on Facebook everywhere. And I have a free Facebook group called Rebel Queen. And I'm a little spicy. You're probably going to get
No. We tell the truth here. Ain't nothing little about her spiciness. Her program is known as Operation Get Shit Done.
All right.
Okay, so go on over to Rebel Queen on Facebook and get your whole systematic life together from beginning to end, and every piece and rooter tutor to the in the middle. Wendy, see, it's the Nicole in her.
That's funny.
It's the Nicole.
I'm looking forward to getting to know the rest of you guys.
So Wendy, we thank you. And Miss Leanne is airing as our own future self-care strategist personality here on the Brownstone Worldwide and KCCR Radio. So Leanne, any final thoughts as we close out?
Um, yes. Mine's always going to be around self-care, right? Because self-care is the basis for all care. It's the basis for how you taking care of your money and how your money is going to take care of you. So we got to invest in our own healing. And that's invest time, invest energy, and invest the dollars into healing ourselves so that we are not continuing to make the mistakes, and that we can be the change that we want to see in the world. It's only going to start when we start, right? One person at a time, and one person can change the world. One person, one idea can change the world, and we're all one idea away from helping save somebody's life.
Yes.
So
And
invest,
tell them how they can find
invest in our healing.
how can they get in touch with you? How can they follow you, connect with you? How
I
can they
am
do it?
Dulce and Lay on every platform: TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn. LinkedIn, you should look me up, Leanne Dulce. But I love to talk, love to chat, connect with me on dulceandlay.com or any other social media platform.
All right, all right. DJ Tony, the voice of wisdom with all these ladies.
Man, this has been awesome, man. Wow. Woo, man. 2023, y'all. 2023. I'm speaking into everybody under the sound of my voice. Prosperity, respect, peace, and most importantly, love. Receive that. Listen, for me, and starting out as an entrepreneur, one thing I'm gonna say, I was never afraid to fail, because even in my failing, I learned. It taught me the next time I fail, it's a choice because I knew better. You dig what I'm saying? So never be afraid to fail. Just be careful the next time. You dig what I'm saying? So listen, all my entrepreneurs, be yourself. To thy own self be true. Thank you, Leanne, for that, because, man, me as a black man, I don't hear that enough. That self-care. Take time for you, because people who know me know I'm always looking out for others, for real. And I receive that from you in this new year, because that's something I need to address. And thank you, my sister, for that blessing. I receive it and shall do it. My queens at the Brownstone, woo! I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm excited. Listen, I'm working on getting me some fans. Y'all already know. Before we came on, Wendy, before we came on air, I told my queens, listen, we got to get some Brownstone fans. And I already knew Nicole had a Girl Your Money Mother fans was coming. So, I got to get me some Ida Storm fans hooked up. I cannot be left out, because I'm tired of doing this yellow damn envelope. But anyway, everybody, listen. Wendy, I'm speaking blessings for you in 2023. Listen, may God touch each and every one of y'all lives in the biggest way you can ever imagine. Do not put God in a box, because I serve a mighty God.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? And the impossible is possible with him, because in the very word it says, I'm possible. You feel me? So receive that. Believe in yourself. If you need help, I'm here. I'm here. I'm just a vessel of information, because as my queens know, I'm networking all the time, because in my heart, I truly believe we all we got. See, my grandmama told me that when I was a Saudi, and I just believe that it's embedded in me. And my queens know, I say it all the time, we all we got. So if we all we got to quit playing with each other. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, feelings gonna come into it, but get past it. Get the message. You can hate the messenger, but get the message.
Amen. Because we all we got. And
We all we
we all we got. Paulette, the owner, the CEO of Brownstone Worldwide, changing the narrative for our Black and Brown communities. Come on with it,
Ooh,
girl.
girl, anyway, so you know what? Blow a sister head up tonight, please. So listen, y'all, this was a necessary conversation to be had. We have got to do better to each other, with each other, around each other. This it saddens me because I've been hearing it my whole life, that awful adage. That's why I don't fool with black businesses right now. Cause your chicken wings wasn't fried the way you thought they should have been. Girl, get yourself somewhere and sit down. I done heard it all. But then also to you all's point, let me also say this. As black businesses and entrepreneurs, we too have to do better.
Oh yeah.
We got to be
Yes.
able to check ourselves and
Mhm.
come to the table and say, did I do that right? Did I
Mhm.
communicate the way that I was supposed to? Was my product stellar? Could it stand up to what everybody else is putting out there? Do I really need to pay someone XYZ to teach me how to do that because I don't know how? Do I really need to charge
Come on now.
$15,000, and I don't even have the true clarification or certification rather that I need, right?
We
So
both
we
talking about
stop
them
playing
funds.
ourselves and stop thinking that the people that we want to have the service from us, stop thinking that they're that stupid because it's the internet. This is no longer the gold rush, right? It still is, but we have to start treating it for what it is. We are true business owners and we have to take that's what we're doing here at the Brownstone. So I'm going to shut up because I could go on and on and on. Here's where I am going to end my portion and just let you know, as always, you can listen to the replays beginning January 15th. A new season for all of the shows and the new ones will begin airing on KCCR, the Brownstone, as well as BWTV on brownstoneworldwide.com on January 15th. Okay, that's number one. Number two, we also have brownstoneworldwide.com itself. That's where you get your news, your information, your politics, you get self-care strategies, you get all of the cool stuff, articles and other things from around the world to help you live the brownstone lifestyle. And then lastly, this beast right here. This is the new issue of Brownstone Living magazine. Okay, so how can you be down? How can you get yours? You can go over to bit.ly/subscribe to Brownstone Living. Yes, there is a fee. You know why? Because it costs money to put it together. Yes. So actually only $4.99 for the month, or you can go ahead and get it for the year and you'll get a discount. Okay. So there's several different ways for you to get it. I definitely want you guys to go ahead and check out KCCR the Brownstone, where these beautiful people hang out when they're not here. And then also come back and hang out because we got some stuff. We got lunch and learns. Go ahead and like the Facebook page, Brownstone Worldwide. It's some things happening and popping this year. And that's all I have to say about that.
Well, thank you so much. I am so excited that all of you were here tonight. One of the things that I love about bringing this show together is being able to touch on aspects of money, but they have different directions, right? And when we talk about self-care, that involves money. When we talk about health and wellness, that involves money. When we talk about being an entrepreneur, money touches all aspects. And I'm grateful that I'm able to maneuver and weave all things dealing with your money. So money basics for entrepreneurs. I'm glad that you guys got some perspective, some self-reflection things that you have to do as a business owner. And then as a customer, are you a good customer?
Right.
Oh, see, while we stepping on entrepreneur toes, let's step on the customer toe too. There's two sides to every relationship. How are you doing the good part of being a good customer? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that part is important too. So just some reminders, and I know Leanne is going to love this. January is self-love month. So make sure you hug yourself often. If nobody else, you wrap your arms around yourself, comfort and love on you. Okay. It's also National Mentoring Month. Okay, I got my little notes here so I don't forget nothing. But January 1st through the 7th is also Customer Appreciation Week. Okay, and as the finance individual, we're talking all things money. So on February 16th, tonight's show will be a 2-hour invitation into a Zoom meeting. Instead of a show here live, we're going to join into a Zoom meeting and to have an economic summit, little mini summit to get your January kicked off. We're going to talk about how to save, how to create the habit of saving. We're going to talk about how you should be budgeting. We're going to talk about ways and avenues. But you know, if you know me, I'm not a numbers person 24/7. I am your mindset person, because in order to make the shift, in order to make the change, to make the adjustments, all of those things, we got to start here, because otherwise I could do your budget for you, slide it back to you, and in 48 hours you'll be right back in my face. But I don't know how I mucked up all this money in the last 48 hours because you didn't break the habit. We're all about breaking the habits, breaking the chains so that we can shift into new directions. So I am so excited that all of you have been here tonight. My final thoughts on the topic. We love our customers. We want our customers to love and respect us. As an entrepreneur, bring your A game at all times. But as a customer, bring yours as well. Okay, bring yours as well. We want to meet in the middle. We want to be able to serve you. As a customer, we want to be served properly. Okay, so let's make this an even exchange. And as the business owner, I'm going to bring you the value for the money that I'm looking from you as the customer. Okay, but this conversation is not over. We are going to continue this on different time, same place and space. So I am the Nicole Johnson, founder and CEO of Girl Your Money Matters, affectionately known as the gym, where we have all sorts of exercises to help you get financially fit. And I will see you same time, same place next Monday. I keep wanting to go to Friday. Don't charge it to my head and my heart, because we want to be we want to be on Friday. We're trying to end the week already. But we will see you next week with more topics here on Girl Your Money Matters. You guys have a good night and thanks for joining. Bye.